So mahalo, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Tomoko Skinner from Hawai'i CC Career Center, and we have Kim Martinson, and Kim is from Maui College. Okay, so to start off our workshop, before we get started, can you please type in the chat box which campus you are from? Okay, welcome. Please type in which campus you are from. Okay, oh, nice. Aloha. Nice, we have some from Hilo, Maui, Kapi'olani, KCC, Kapi'olani.
Wonderful.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Aloha Friday. Oh, okay. This is a Windward. Mahalo, mahalo. Nice. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you. So we have today our theme is leadership and influence. And to start off our workshop, we wanted to ask you, when you think about leaders, who comes to mind? You could either unmute or type in the chat. Who comes to mind when you think about leaders?
Well, politicians, because they're making a lot of the executive decisions for us.
Yes,
Okay.
politicians. Thank you. Okay. Oh, welcome, welcome. Chef Jose Andres. Okay, I'm not sure if I know this chef, but yeah, mahalo. Interesting. Yes. Oh, Queen Kapi'olani. Nice. Yes. Yeah, Kapi'olani. For me, it's Princess Ruth Ke'elikolani because her I think her
Mother Teresa Gandhi.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah. Her I think her celebration is coming up next or in 2 weeks. Okay, mahalo for answering this question and welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna hand the baton to Kim.
Politicians. Okay. All right. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, so wonderful. So now that we have an idea of who we view as leaders, let's get started. Leaders can emerge from unexpected places and often in the faces of challenges. This training focuses on unlocking your inherent leadership potential through self-exploration. And true leadership involves inspiring others to act, not just giving orders. And this workshop will examine various leadership theories and explore the qualities that distinguish good leaders from great leaders. Influence is also a powerful tool that goes beyond task-oriented leadership. And while others may command action, influence shapes attitudes and awareness. And leadership and influence will go hand in hand, creating a dynamic and rewarding journey towards effective leadership. Okay? Okay, so this is the workshop objectives. And research has consistently demonstrated that when clear goals are associated with learning, that the learning occurs more easily and rapidly. So with this in mind, let's review some of our goals for today. So by the end of this workshop, participants will be able to define leadership, explain the great man theory, explain the trait theory, conduct a personal inventory, create an action plan, and establish personal goals. Okay? So simply speaking, leadership is defined as the ability to lead. Leadership involves guiding and inspiring individuals or groups towards a common goal, making decisions, fostering collaboration, and motivating others. Effective leaders possess skills like communication, empathy, the ability to empower others. Leadership is observed in diverse contexts, such as businesses, politics, as many of you mentioned, community organizations, and in everyday interpersonal relationships. Okay, and then so throughout this workshop, we're going to break it into different modules. And when we do that, usually we'll put a quote in there. So this is the first quote, and it says, "Define success in your own terms, achieve it by your own rules, and build a life you are proud to live." Anne Sweeney. Okay, so before we can all become great leaders, it is important to look at the evolution of leadership. As long as there have been leaders, there have been those who have tried to determine how and why they were successful in the first place. So, leadership in itself has not necessarily evolved, but our understanding of it has. So, it is important to understand why very different leadership styles can be effective and why the same leadership techniques will not work in every situation. And it's also important to learn which leadership style best fits your personality. So everyone has leadership potential within them, but understanding these concepts will help you maximize your leadership ability. Okay, so we're going to look at a brief history of leadership. So throughout the centuries, there have been many leaders. We are social by nature and we bond together, but we also look for order against the chaos of life. We look to be organized and accomplish tasks as a society that we can perform or that we cannot perform individually. And as a result, someone naturally will take the lead and end up in charge. So, taking a look back at historical leaders, we have, and I might butcher it, but Sun Tzu, who was the military general in China from 500 BC, and he wrote The Art of War, which many of you might have read or have heard about. And the book is actually about, well, he was a great military leader, and his book was about how not to use armies except as a last resort. And he focused more on using wise political policies and strategies to actually prevent war. Another example will be Julius Caesar or Alexander the Great. And then modern leaders, some of you mentioned Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela. We have Mother Teresa, you guys mentioned, George Washington. The list goes on as far as our modern day leaders. Okay, so as I mentioned before, leadership itself has not evolved, but our understanding of it has. And these leadership principles help us understand different theories. So I'm just going to briefly talk about each of these theories so you have an understanding. The first one is the great man theory. The great man theory suggests that the history is primarily shaped by remarkable individuals, often labeled as heroes or possessing an exceptional qualities like superior intellect, heroic courage. This theory was popular in the 19th century and it asserts that the actions of these extraordinary figures decisively influence historical events, right? And then the trait theory has often been said that great leaders are born, not necessarily made, and that the trait theory takes the saying literally. If you have the ability to lead, it means you were just born with it, without any means of acquiring those skills. So no education, learning, or anything else. You were just born into that. Today, we recognize that true leadership seems to come from a combination of both theories. Everyone has some ability in at least one or more of these areas. This means that under the right circumstances, anyone could rise to a leadership role and be successful based on the leadership styles that best matches their personality. Other leadership skills can indeed be learned, developed, and mastered. And the last theory is the transformational leadership. So in 1978, James McGregor Burns coined transformational leadership, depicting it as a collaborative process where leaders interact with their followers to inspire each other to advance the organization. His characteristics and behaviors demonstrated the difference between management and leadership. And people and organizations transformed due to the leadership style and the abilities of the leader who is able to convey a very clear vision and guide on how to guide this transformation. A perfect example of this would be Steve Jobs and Apple. So to summarize, these theories have been shown there's a variety of attributes and abilities associated with leadership, and these vary from leader to leader. The difference between a good leader and a great leader is partly the number of leadership skills they have developed. The other part is their ability to apply those skills properly to those who would be following them. And we'll address these issues a little bit further in the next section. Okay. And then throughout this presentation, we'll be doing a couple question and answers just to recap what we've been discussing. So please put in the chat what you think might be the correct answer. The first question is, which of these is the difference between a good leader and a great leader? Okay, we have the amount of political clout they have, their writing ability, military tactical thinking, and D, which everybody's picking and is correct. The difference between a good leader and a great leader is partly the number of leadership skills they have developed. Yes, you guys are right. Okay. Hand this over to you, Tomoko.
Okay, I was muted. Okay, thank you. So I always did something I was a little not ready to do. I think that's how you grow. This is a quote from Melissa Mayer. Okay, so moving on to our next module, a personal inventory. So in 2002, James Kouzes and Barry Posner published a book called The Leadership Challenge. They explore the skills needed for a leader to inspire transformation, building on models like Hersey Blanchard and other transformational leadership models. The focus was on understanding the abilities that influence followers and make them embrace the leader's vision as their own. Okay, James Kouzes and Barry Posner are leadership experts and authors known for their work on leadership development. They co-authored the best-selling book, The Leadership Challenge, which has been widely used in leadership training and education. In their book, Kouzes and Posner present 5 practices of excellent leadership. Number 1, model the way. Leaders set an example by aligning actions with shared values. Number 2, inspire a shared vision. Leaders envision the future and enlist others in a common vision. Number 3, challenge the process. Leaders actively seek opportunities for improvement and innovation. Number 4, enable others to act. Leaders foster collaboration and build trust to empower others. And lastly, encourage the heart. Leaders recognize and celebrate the contributions of individuals. Their work had a significant impact on the leadership theory and practice, and they are often sought after as speakers and consultants in the field of leadership development. Okay. A personal inventory. So according to Kouzes-Posner study, the most important leadership qualities ranked in order are honest, forward-looking, competent, inspiring, cooperative, determined, courageous, caring, imaginative, and supportive. So these qualities reflect the key attributes that contribute to effective leadership as identified by Kouzes and Posner. Okay, so how can we incorporate leadership concepts into our lives? You can set leadership goals, prioritize qualities for development, address goals, take specific actions like joining a team sport for teamwork or participating in Toastmasters to improve communication. Seek inspiration. Explore diverse leaders' approaches through books and online research. Choose a role model. Select a personality-aligned role model. Read biographies and watch videos for insights. Seek experience. Take a leadership role in a social group for varied people interactions. And lastly, create a mission statement. Envision your legacy and leadership style. Write a defining statement. Okay. So these are ways how you can develop leadership as a college student. So you can participate in student government, join or start a club, a RESO, get involved in sports or other after-school activities, or find volunteer opportunities or get an internship position. and complete a passion project. Okay, so review questions. Which ability means think outside the box? Is it A, lead the way, B, challenge the process, C, enable others to act, D, inspire our shared vision? Okay, we have mostly B, we have some D, and yes, thank you. The correct answer is B, challenge the process. Don't continue doing something just because we've always done it that way. Situations change, and sometimes a policy or procedures never worked well in the first place. Think outside the box. B, challenge the process. Okay, moving on to the next question. In the results of Kuz's Posner study, what was reported as the most important quality in a leader? A, independent. B, supportive. C, honest. D, determined. Okay, we have C's and B, mainly C's. Okay, thank you. So the answer is C, honest and cooperative are the top of the list. Okay, moving on. Which of these is the first step to creating an action plan? A, seek experience. B, set leadership goals. C, choose a role model. D, create a personal mission statement. Okay, we have B's and A's and some C. Okay, thank you for that. The answer is B, set leadership goals. In leadership, as in life, you will never come to the end of your learning, but you want to rank in priority those qualities you want to develop. Okay, and moving on to our next quote. Some look at things that are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. It's a quote from George Bernard Shaw. Okay, so moving on. The best leaders lead by example. If something does go wrong, a true leader never blames his followers, even in fact they failed. A true leader takes the blame and then address how to correct the problems that arose. Okay, determining your way. So choose a role model and study their qualities, challenges, and philosophies for success. Observe how different situations demand varying leadership styles. Pay special attention to your hero's response to failures and adversity. Who do you choose as your role model? And being an inspirational role model. So being a leader means being both confident and humble. Sometimes people might think confidence is arrogance, but real leaders stay honest and true to themselves. It's important to listen to criticism, but also think about whether it's fair. If you're too worried about what others think, or if you only want respect because of your position, you might lose support from others. Influencing others' perspectives. So you may have heard the perception is reality, so always show honesty, care, and dedication to inspire others. Build loyalty through a track record of fairness. Address concerns promptly because unresolved issues can escalate. Listening is a powerful influence. Being open to suggestions empowers people. Okay, another review question. So, who is leadership not for? A, the self-confident and self-assured. B, the bold and the self-starter. C, the timid or the arrogant. D, those who have honesty and integrity. Okay, we have lots of C. Correct. The answer is C. Leadership is neither for timid nor the arrogant. Perfect. And our next question is, if any of your team members do feel they have been wronged, what do you need to do? A, ignore the problem. B, hold back as acting quickly will be misinterpreted as arrogance. C, seek counsel from your mentors. D, address the issue immediately. Okay, we're seeing yes, all D. Thank you. Yes, D is the correct answer. If any of your team members do feel they have been wronged for whatever reason, you need to address the issue immediately. Okay. The only man who makes no mistakes is the man who never does anything. Theodore Roosevelt. Okay, moving on to Module 6. So to be a great leader, focus on inspiring a shared vision among your followers. First, develop a clear vision and embody it in your actions. Understand that people have varying levels of intellect, maturity, compliance, and motivation. Choosing your vision. Set clear, achievable goals to guide your actions. Define your vision. Your vision is your lighthouse, offering direction and warning against obstacles. Make your vision the guiding force for you and your followers. And then communicating your vision. So communication goes beyond words or memos. Actions matter. Summarize your vision in simple catchphrase. Post your slogan, catchphrase, and mission statement in prominent locations. Or you can, when you send out emails, list it in quotes below your signature block. Okay, identifying the benefit for others. Answer the question. If you are a leader and ask yourself, what's in it for me, as if you were one of your own team members, the answer might not always be obvious. Certainly performance bonuses and awards, but most team members enjoy being part of a larger, successful group or team. Everyone loves a winner. When the home team wins at the stadium, you would think the fans in the stand were the players by the way they share in the victory and excitement. So we are social creatures who like to feel we belong. We crave acceptance. If you can get your team members to accept your vision as their own and excite them about being part of it, they will often excel beyond what you or they thought possible. So be sure to reward the loyalty and performance above and beyond the call of duty. Okay. Another question, review question is, what is the key to true leadership? A, hiding in your office. B, inspiring a shared vision among your staff. C, not seeing your staff regularly. D, disengaging yourself from your vision. Okay, this one was easy. Everybody has a right answer. B is correct. The key to true leadership is inspire a shared vision among your staff. And handing it over to Kim.
Okay, another quote. Leadership, the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Okay. So now we're going to be challenging the process. Often we resist change and stick to the familiar, even if it's recognized as being insufficient. Large groups tend to follow the law of inertia. If it takes a lot of effort to change something, nothing will change. But as a leader, you must search out opportunities to change, to grow and innovate and improve. There's no reward without risk. So you must be willing to experiment, take risks, and learn from mistakes. You want to ask questions, even if you fear the answers. That's kind of big. Start with the question, why? Why are things the way they are? Why do we do things the way we do them? A great book that dives further into the why question is Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. Sinek says that starting and leading with your why taps into the parts of the brain responsible for feeling, which deeply attracts customers and followers. Okay, again, thinking outside the box. A paradigm is an established model or structure, and sometimes they work quite well, and oftentimes they might be inadequate or even counterproductive. Sometimes it's necessary to think outside the box to break this paradigm. So don't be afraid to ask the question why, as we just mentioned. Ask questions of your coworkers, your customers, former leaders. Answers and ideas can be found in the most unlikely of places, and often the lowest ranking person in an organization can tell you exactly what is wrong because they see it daily from their vantage point. Okay, developing your inner innovator. Innovation goes beyond tweaking processes. It's about complete overhaul based on goals and research. Instead of just adapting to outdated methods, innovators rethink and redesign based on new visions. A lot of them work backwards from their goal. Um, while not all innovators' ideas are practical or cost efficient, staying within the status quo can also lead to missed opportunities. But note, change should never be made simply for the sake of change. You want to stay focused on goals, break rules if necessary, but do so wisely through research and planning. You're right, leaders. Another good tip, good book. Okay, next module. Okay, so we're on enabling others to act. So to be a true leader, you must enable others to act responsibly and not encourage bad work habits by compensating for them or overlooking them. At the same time, you cannot berate a team member for trying hard but making honest mistakes. That's important. The goal of a leader is to empower others. Your success will be dependent on the extent to which you can encourage your team. Okay, encouraging growth in others. A positive attitude is essential for encouragement. No one likes to fail, and many take it very, very personally. While failure should never be rewarded per se, an understanding attitude and positive outlook can work wonders. A child only learns to walk by falling down many, many times, but the focus is always on, or is not on the fall, but it's on getting back up. Creating mutual respect. You will never be worthy of respect if you don't give respect. Respect should be given to everyone at all levels unless they deliberately do something to lose that respect. Many successful businesses are successful because they treat everyone with the same respect, from the janitors or entry-level positions all the way up to CEOs. And you want to have that mindset. Okay. The importance of trust. And lastly, I want to talk about the importance of trust. It's respect is inevitably leads to trust. So you want to do what you say and say what you mean. Manage expectations by under promising and over delivering. And what I mean by this is, if a task is going to take you an hour to do, suggest it will be done in 2 hours. This allows flexibility for unexpected disruptions. So if you complete it earlier, you're seen as reliable. If not, a slight delay is easier to manage without breaking promises. So you're building that reliability, which fosters trust. Also, let people know that you're not asking them to do something that you would not be willing to do yourself, or that you haven't done so already yourself. Work hard and be seen working hard. If you come in early and see others who are there early as well, stop by and simply mention that fact positively. A simple word of recognition will go a long, long way in earning respect. Without respect, you will never have loyalty, and without loyalty, you cannot trust. And without mutual trust and respect, you cannot accomplish great things. But remember, while your people need to be able to trust you, you also need to be able to trust them. Another quote: "The country is full of good coaches. What it takes to win is a bunch of interested players," which is actually a really good quote. Okay. So now that we've talked about leadership, we're going to talk a little bit about influencing skills, and we're going to tie everything all together. Some of the best leaders are able to influence others to do something that allow them to think it was their idea all along. But don't worry about taking credit for every good thing that happens on your watch. As a leader, you get credit whenever your staff succeeds because you created the environment in which allowed for the success. So, a perfect example of this might be a class project. If you were a leader and you kept that group moving towards completing it, you kept them organized. Um, Ultimately, you might have done a little bit more work than your teammates, but in the end, you all achieved the same grade. And if you achieved an A, you should look at it as being like a personal win. Not only did you gain leadership experience, but it would also appear that you were a good leader, right? You led your team to an A. So you can see that in your personal lives as well. Opportunities to take leadership potential or leadership role. Okay. And then the art of persuasion. Aristotle was a master of the art of persuasion, and he outlines his thinking in his work Rhetoric, where he identifies three important factors. We have ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos is credibility, and it convinces through character, fostering trust and fellowship. If you're respectful and honest, people will be more likely to follow you because of your character. And next is pathos, which is emotion. It appeals to feelings using emotions to capture attention and gain support. There's a reason why there's so many babies and kittens and puppies on TV commercials. Pathos allows you to tie into emotional triggers that will capture a person's attention and enlist their support. And then lastly is logos, which is logic, and it persuades through intellect. This was Aristotle's favorite and his forte, but not everyone reacts on a rational level. So, this is why appealing to emotions and presenting logical arguments is important, but maintaining credibility is paramount. So, ideally, one should appeal to emotions, which is pathos, support your arguments with logic using logos, and then most importantly, uphold credibility consistently, and that is ethos. Okay. Moving on from Aristotle to another psychologist, Robert Cialdini. I'm probably butchering the name and I apologize. He once said, "It's through influence process that we generate and manage change." And in his studies, he outlined 5 universal principles of influence, which are useful and effective in a wide range of circumstances. So the first one is reciprocation. People will be more willing to do something for you if you've already done something for them. And we see that all the time with friendships. Couples do this all the time, giving in on little things so they can, go out for friends without the kids or a chance to watch the game later. Commitment. You cannot get people to commit to you or your vision if they don't see your commitment to that vision. So once you provide a solid, consistent example, they will feel that they have maybe do the same. They will follow, be consistent. Authority. If people believe you know what you're talking about and accept your expertise, they are far more likely to follow you. And then social validation. As independent as we like to consider ourselves, we also love to be part of a crowd. And people will always jump on the bandwagon if their friends like the band, which leads into friendship. People listen to their friends, and if they like you, they're far more likely to support you. Also, a pleasant personality can make up for a multitude of failures. More than one leader has been abandoned at the first sign of trouble because they were not very well liked. Okay, so this is going to be our last module for the workshop. And it's going to be how to setting goals for yourself. So this is something, and we can have, I know this is a lot of information. So if you guys are interested, we can have a handout of the stuff we were talking about, and we can email that to you as well. So setting a goal. So a vision without specific targeted goals is just a wish or a hope. Without targeted goals, How will you ever know if your vision is being accomplished? So a vision needs a project roadmap with milestones. Um, so how would you determine what those goals are? Or, um, first first we'll discuss what goals are themselves, and then we'll talk about how to determine what goals should be and how to support them. The first thing is setting SMART goals. Your vision itself might be general, but the goals are usually should be very specific, targeted in order to be met. SMART goals are specific. They answer questions of who, what, where, when, and why, and how. And you want these questions to be as specific as possible. You want them to be measurable. Goals measurable in terms of progress and attainment. They must be tracked according to time, money, or results. Make sure they're attainable. A goal which cannot be met is not a goal, it's just an idea. Goals should be attainable, breaking down into manageable steps aligned with available resources in order to be met. And then realistic. A goal may be possible, but you need the right people and the right amount of time, support to make it happen. And then lastly is timed. All goals need to be accomplished within a given time frame. Deadlines might be indeed missed, and that's okay, but without any timetable, there'll be no way of sensing where you are. And if you continue to put it off, it will never get done. So the timetable is it kind of it'll help you stay on track, so you don't just continue to put everything off and it just never gets done. So each goal should lead to the next step in the overall plan until the ultimate vision is reached. And then lastly, once your goals are established, you need a way to ensure they are set into motion. Duties may be assigned and documentation must be established to track progress. Creating a chart that illustrates your project schedule is a great way to track milestones over a period of time. You need to establish the tools necessary to track the progress, whatever that might be. This might include a simple checklist for some tasks or software tracking systems for others if you get more into it or it becomes more complicated. Monitoring the oversight are keys to achieving all of your goals. Okay, and then wrapping up. So now I was trying to put all of this together. To be a leader, you must first see yourself as a leader. And based on what we've learned so far, you know what qualities are important in a leader and how you can prioritize them as they apply to you. Experience is the greatest teacher. And if you've ever had a boss that had angered you so much that you've quit that job, you have great examples of what not to do. But if you've had a parent, a teacher, a coach, a supervisor who inspired you, you have many great examples to follow. But before we end, I wanted to focus on a minute or two on my previous sentence. It says, to be a leader, you must first see yourself as a leader. And what I mean by that is I want to have you guys write down 3 to 5 different affirmations related to leadership. And an affirmation are positive thoughts that resonate to you. And an example could be, I am successful. I am confident. I am focused and persistent. I am confident and able to handle any obstacle thrown in front of me. I am in the process of becoming the best version of myself. And the point of these affirmations is to write down a few and then just repeat them to yourself. And even if you're not there yet, you envision yourself that you're already there. So you're already seeing yourself as this great leader and you're already working towards it. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. He mentions that it's like a 1%. And it's not like the 1% rule. If you can do something 1% better each day for a year, you'll end up 37 times better at the end. So another way of looking at that is just being better 1%. Whatever you did that day, just think to yourself, you can do 1% better the next day. And you do that day after day after day. And then if you're working towards a specific goal, you give little milestones like that. So regardless of where you are or how unattainable something might seem, if you work at it little bits at a time, it helps it become more achievable. Did anybody want to share one of their affirmations that they wrote down?
I wrote down, I am confident, I'm persistent, I'm in the process of becoming myself, I'm growing, I'm better today than I was yesterday.
It's great. Great. Thank you for sharing. It's wonderful.
I got one. I am committed and focused to learning to debone a chicken with meat in one piece. This is so challenging. I failed a course last semester in garde manger, so I had
Oh,
chicken Ballantine, which was so incredibly difficult for me to do. I dropped out of that class,
oh,
and I'm going
sorry.
back.
Good.
I'm practicing what I need to do to complete that assignment successfully, because I am committed and focused to completing the project. I'm committed and focused to completing my degree. I'm just committed and focused. I couldn't get beyond that. I'm sorry, but
No,
that's all I
that's
can.
great.
3, but 1 is good enough for me.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
wonderful. Thank you. And I wish you luck with the chicken.
Yeah. It's gonna be delicious. I just can feel it already. Thanks.
We're also having great ones in the chats. So confident, trustworthy, determined, self-assured, resilient. These are great. And so think about these, and they can change daily, but just to focus on a few at a time, and then just repeat them daily to yourself. And then whatever you're envisioning it, if you're envisioning yourself already there, it becomes so much more easy, not easy, but for you to actually reach that. Tomoko, do you have any you want to share?
Yeah, I like everything. I see Miliana in the chat box saying humility, humility. And for me, my affirmation I do every day is that I have enough. I am enough.
I love that.
That's my affirmation. How about you, Kim?
Every day I try to wake up and be like, today's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna be a good parent. I'm not gonna lose my mind. I gotta work on that. I'm a work in progress, actually. This is actually helping me to do this, to be honest, to do it daily. So I actually wrote down some of these and things that I would like to say to myself every day. So that are
Nice.
standing from being, I'm not going to lose my mind. I'm going to have a great day.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm curious. So I want to ask all of you guys. So as we wrap up, what is one thing you learned today? Something new or something that kind of spoke to you? What is your takeaway from this workshop today? Please type in the chat box, or you're welcome to open mic and share it with us. What is one thing you learned from this workshop?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
I came in late, so what I could share from my experience is something about being having big eyes, big ears, and a small mouth.
Mm.
And what that means is, like, if I have to work with foreign nationals or people from other ethnicities in Hawaii, it's a matter of big ears, with big eyes and small mouth. It's very difficult to be culturally use a cultural humility approach to working with others because we have our own preconceptions.
Mm,
However, the next thing that if I wanted to learn, as I think I've just learned from this affirmation thing, it's just a matter of being able to do like what I just said. And because I have to work with, I'm a client specialist. And so the result is like I have to work with different sets of people. And then I have to listen to what they're saying. And then my affirmation is to repeat what I think that I understood and then work from their point of view.
mm. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you for sharing that. And we have a lot of comments in our chat box. So Ruth said, a leader never blames its followers. Elizabeth says, start with why. Angela says, grateful for wonderful leaders like you both. Oh, mahalo for that. And Miliana said, many are looking towards moving forward in positive ways. And Abigail said, embrace change and adapt. And Rachel said, resonate. Just as much we want our team to trust us, we need to trust them too. Kelly said, getting confirmation that this is how leadership should be and how I can think out of the box and challenge the process. And sorry if I butcher your name, Shirley said, I realize the importance of setting SMART goals, even for small goals, because it can help with the little steps that Kim talked about. Those small steps become beneficial in the end. And Anthony, a leader leads by example. And Jose, leaders eat last. I am getting that book. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Yes. So before we wrap up, we have a very short survey for you guys to fill out. Please share your manaos. Please leave us this survey so we can continue these workshops. Anything else you want to add, Kim?
Yeah, if you let's just go to the next slide, and we'll have our email addresses up there. And then if you guys would like some more information or a printout of what we talked about today, we can email that to you. So Tomoko's email is tomokoys@hawaii.edu, and my email is morekl8@hawaii.edu.